That's a section no one watches, but if you did, I give you a high five, thumbs up.
Yep.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Exactly. We are here today, this year, the year of 2025, to once again revisit our top 50 board games of all time. We do this series every year in January.
Yeah.
And some people might say, that's too many times to do it. How could it possibly change that much? Well, guess what? It changes a heckin' lot most years because I'm a go with your gut kind of list maker.
Yeah, we play a lot of games too.
We play a lot of games, and yes, some games that appear on the list, we've only played them for the first time this year.
I don't care.
I don't care neither. Me neither. Okay? But this video is going to be for our number 50 to 41. So we're going to count down our 50. Now, if you are part of the Patreon community, we will be releasing our 70 to 51. Thank you. I was like, wait, how does that math work? So we will be releasing that over on Patreon once this series is done, basically, after we get through the whole 50. So we're going to do a couple of these videos every week until we get through all 50 of them. I used Pub Meeple to rank my games, which is, it'll basically show you two games and you just click which one you prefer. And I rank based on optimal player count, optimal play, which game would I rather play. I used Pub Meeple and I ranked over 1,000 games. It was over 5,000 pairings, and it took me 3 days to do it. Jeff just took 100 games.
Okay. I'm efficient. I took, I think it was like 120? No, dead on 100.
Dead on 100.
I took 100 games that I knew would be, or at least had a shot to be in the top 50. If they didn't have a shot to be in the top 50, I didn't include them in the 100 because what's the point then?
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of pre-filtered our games.
Yeah.
And then I did Pub Meeple. And then I do slight adjustments on the back end of Pub Meeple because I don't think Pub Meeple nails it
not 100%. I would agree.
But it gets very close.
I also did some fiddling with mine. But yes, I used Pub Meeple.
And again, I rank on the same criteria. Optimal people, optimal player count, optimal situation,
and which game would, if I'm given the option in those conditions on Pub Meeple, which of these two would I prefer?
Which I'll mention is very difficult for my rankings for like party-esque games to then
it's tough.
Make it.
Yep.
You're going to notice a trend, I think.
And now, my friends, it is time. And we haven't seen each other's lists, so I'm ready to be shocked and appalled. Just like you. Speaking of which.
I don't think you will be.
Speaking of which. Now, we have to say this, but these are our lists.
The usual disclaimers that no one listens to.
That we enjoy. If you don't enjoy them, that's okay. And if something doesn't make the list that is your favorite game, maybe we haven't played it, or maybe we haven't, we just don't like it. And all of those things are A-okay. Are we all good? Excellent. Jeff?
I'm first?
Yeah, why not?
Right. My number 50 favorite game of all time is a smash 'em up, beat 'em up frog game.
Oh. Agricola.
Not Agricola. It is Cosmic Frog.
Cosmic Frog. That's new to the list.
Is it new?
I don't know. It was your number 52 last year.
Okay.
So it's eked its way on.
That checks out, because I got to play it a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
I think this one would continue to increase if I was able to play it more. It's just silly, nonsensical fun with some asymmetrical abilities, and you're basically just trying to... It's got like one of the weirdest themes in board games, and I very much appreciate Devious Weasel Games for doing that, but it's just a blast every time. There's not like a ton of strategy in the game. You know, it's just basically, do you want to go punch your friends for a bit? And you know, that's always a good time. So
always a good time.
Number 50, Cosmic Frog.
Jeff, don't look at my list.
I'm not looking.
My number 50 was my number 36 last year.
Okay.
And it's probably because we haven't, is that right? It's got to be.
You will notice a trend. Jamie's going to list a game and be like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
But then she'll look at the other games and be like, no.
My number 50 was my number 36 last year, and that is Awkward Guess. And I think that this is a product of we didn't play it this year. And that is definitely a big factor often in these ranking lists. But Awkward Guess is a deduction game. It's kind of like Gamer's Clue, where a billionaire has been murdered and you're trying to figure out who did it. I love it because it's so interactive. And you can also, unlike in Clue, you can also continue playing even if you guess wrong. And you're exchanging information. And I just love deduction games, and I think this one is so fun. I did back the second one, Awkward Guess 2, so I'm excited to have that delivered and to be able to play that. But if you haven't played this game, I would freaking highly recommend it. I love it.
Yeah, not on my list, but
I figured.
It's one of those, like, again, it's the criteria of it's just not the type of game that's going to hit my top 50. I will also mention, too, like, understand that our top 50, well, you'd be like, oh, it's only 47. That's of like 1,000 plus games.
Yeah, I ranked like 1,100 games.
Like that's the top percentile. All right, my number 49 is our first new to us game of 2024. And I think this one's going to do nothing but increase. I think it has the potential of probably cracking my top 20, 25, and that is Ironwood.
Oh, okay.
Ironwood is a 1v1 or solo experience. It's very asymmetrical in terms of its area control. One person is trying to complete their objective before the other person completes their objective.
Yep.
And it's interesting because you can't get too far ahead, or then the other person's going to start kind of targeting you a little bit more than maybe you want to. I've mentioned in previous videos, it definitely feels like it gives me the 1v1 vibes that I wanted Root to give me in a two-player Root game that it just didn't, it failed to deliver on for me. But I very, very much like Ironwood, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it.
Very cool, Jeff. Didn't make my list.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, my number...
These are always so interesting.
I know.
Because our interest in games has a ton of crossover.
Yeah, but also a lot of difference.
It's completely different.
My next one, my number 49, I don't think made my list last year. And this is the first year where I've finally been like, you know what? Screw it. This game I love. And that is Psychic Pizza Deliverers Go to the Ghost Town. Another deduction game that is from All Play. And it is just so much fun to play. Like, I love this game. Anytime somebody wants to play it, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm in. I've only ever played as the mayor, which I do think is the optimal role in the game.
Yeah, I'd like to play as the mayor once.
Basically, you are helping people to map out this town to find their pizza and then to deliver their pizza. And as the mayor, you're almost acting as a GM. So you get to see the chaos that ensues in the game, and it's really, really funny. And I just think this game does not get enough love, and every time we've played it, we've had a blast. I always love showing it to people, and so that is going to be my number 49, and I'm happy about it, and it might even increase later. Who's to say?
I would like to maybe bring that to level up, and I would like to be the mayor. I will mention, it's not in my top 50, but it is in my top 100.
I love that.
So again, if you want to hear maybe where that lands,
you can join our Patreon.
You can join our Patreon. My number 48 favorite game of all time, Jamie has never played, and that is Space Empires 4X.
Oh, wow.
This was on the list last year.
It was. I'll find it while you keep talking. Oh, 44.
44, okay. So it's slipped down, I guess, but I think that's just a product of other games moving around and that sort of thing.
Yep.
I've only ever played Space Empires 4X digitally. I'll throw that out there. I've only played it on BGA, but I've played it a ton on BGA, and I think it's probably my favorite 4X game. I don't play a ton of them, but I absolutely love this. It's from GMT. It's very much, I've never won this game, so I think that's a product of how good I find it. It's a economic kind of like space opera that you're just going around trying to colonize planets and upgrade your ships and destroy your opponents and what have you. I love it. I want to play it in person so much, but I have a specific group that I play this game with, and maybe one time we're together we can play it. But if you like 4X games, and you haven't played Space Empires, I definitely recommend it. It's not maybe as robust and like miniature heavy because it is a GMT game. It's basically cardboard chits, but
Mm-hmm.
I very, very much like Space Empires. I think it's something that's always going to be probably in the top 50 in this area.
If you're wondering what 4X stands for, it stands for exciting, exhilarating, X-Wing,
Excalibur.
Excalibur. All right, my number 48 is new to this portion of the list. It bumped its way down. I don't know where the heck it was last year. Okay, anyways, doesn't matter. That is a button shy game. And that is the first one, and that is Rove. I love Rove. I just think that this is one of the most clever games ever. And I love Button Shy for the cleverness of how the games are designed. If you don't know what Button Shy is, they are a company that produces 18 card wallet games. Those cards are typically multi-purpose, all that good stuff, but Rove is essentially like a puzzle where you are given a hand of cards that have different movements on them, and then on the back of those cards is a puzzle that you are trying to solve. You're trying to get the little Rove results-oriented, versatile something, Excalibur, to do this by moving and shifting cards around that can only move. Certain cards can only move in certain ways. I love it. I did a solo mode for this over on BGG. This is probably like one of my all-time favorite, well, it is one of my all-time favorite solo games, but I love Rove and I think it's amazing. And I just got Aqua Rove for the first, I haven't played it yet, and Rove Junior. So even your kids can play Rove. Or you, if you find Rove too hard.
Does Aqua Rove just change the theme?
Yeah, instead of space, you're underwater.
Okay, but it's the same game mechanically?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think so. I haven't played it yet.
My number 47 favorite game of all time is one Jamie has not played, and another one I own physically, but I've only played digitally, and another GMT game, which is going to be a common theme of this list, is Bayonets and Tomahawks. Bayonets and Tomahawks is I don't know if there's a solo mode, I'll check. Yep. Is a 1 to 4 player game, which I was not aware of. I think I'd only want to play this at 2, to be fair. It is a war game based off of the French Indian War, which is a theme and war that's very prevalent in our geographical region of the world, which is a theme that I'm always going to resonate with. Bayonets and Tomahawks is I think, simpler war game system than some of these more robust war games that are out there, including Wilderness War.
I was going to say has the same theme.
Has a similar theme. Bayonets and Tomahawks, you are effectively either playing as the French or the British, and you're trying to complete your own specific objective by supporting your troops with ships and that sort of thing. But what I like most in this game is the troops are either square tokens or triangle tokens, and you're going to be playing out cards in order to take actions, and those cards will tell you which types of troops you're going to be activating, whether they're triangles or squares. So there's not a really ton of, you have to do this and that system goes down, kind of like coin games. It's not a coin game. It's not like coin games or, like I said, some of these other more robust war games. But Bayonets, Tomahawks, I think is the one that's going to skyrocket up this list. The more I play it and the more I figure out, because I'm kind of just stumbling through it at this point. But I know that this is the type of game I love.
Yeah, that's a new one to the list. Jeff's got a lot of new ones entering the list. I wonder what got bumped out. We will eventually do, like we did last year, what games fell from our list.
Sure, yeah.
Which is scandalous. My number 47 is new to this list, and that is The Search for Lost Species.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Another deduction game.
Yep.
I love deduction games. This one in particular, I have not played Search for Planet X. I have played Search for UAPs, but that I don't like as much. This one, on the other hand, it's fantastic. Basically, you are searching for the lost species, and you're doing that by deducing where this species is based on placement rules of all of the other different species. So it's like that it can't be next to X species because X species has to be in a line with this, and the birds have to fly together, and all of these different things. You are moving around this map trying to get different clues, and then you're going to be making guesses, and you're doing some research, and it's so much fun. It's fun solo. It's fun played together. It's when me and Nick get together, we play this game because it's our jam, and we love this game. And last time we played UAPs, and guess what? It's not as good as this one.
Fair enough.
Anyways, I love it.
I haven't played any of them.
I think Jeff would hate it.
I think I would too. And
Because
that's why I don't want to play.
it's so challenging.
Yeah.
It really is. And you can make it's leap and logic city.
Yeah.
You're like, I know this is here, and then you're like, why would
Hookie's
write that
about
down? Your limit?
my ceiling for those types of games.
Anyways, that's my 47. I'm very happy to have it on this list. Welcome, Search for Lost Species.
Yeah, I feel like that's
to the
one
50.
that's going to keep.
Oh
climbing.
yeah, 100%.
My number 46 favorite game of all time is another one that's probably going to continue to climb as I play it more. I do believe it was one we discovered for the first time last year, and that is Orleans.
Okay, that was your number 47 last year.
Oh, okay. So we did play it last year. Okay, I wasn't sure. So it's like right on the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's increased
like,
a little bit.
Yeah, one up.
Orleans is a really, really great bag builder game where you are effectively just trying to strategize your different unit types because they let you take different actions. There's like a shared board that you're trying to like area control and time at the right instance in order to score extra victory points. And again, you're just trying to build up your bag in order to take more powerful, better actions in the future. Orleans was one that I know Nick and Mike absolutely adore over at Brothers Murph.
They're the reason why we first played it.
Yeah, and they're the reason why we tried it out, and I absolutely adored it. And I think if we played this more, it would probably increase. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it more. And I want to play more of it in person.
Yeah, it's on BGA now, so that's where we've played it recently.
Yeah, I think it would be more enjoyable to play that one in person just because there's a little bit more of like you're doing your own thing aspect to it. And I'd want to interact with people around the table while that's happening. But
and I'd like to try the expansions.
Yes.
My number 46, hold please, let's see where this bad boy was last year. It wasn't even on the list last year. Okay, it wasn't on my list last year, but it was the year before. This one is going to jump all over the place. It's Azul.
Yeah.
I think it didn't make my list last year because I think I was played out on Azul, and I haven't been playing it as much, but recently I've been picking it up again. And recently I had a chance to play Azul Duel. What?
We just played Azul and I crushed everyone.
Yeah, Jeff had a good game night the other night. But I recently played Azul Duel, which I really loved. And just so everybody knows, I clump all Azuls together.
Yeah, I mean, I do that with any of the games on the list, like
Villainous or whatever. It's just like
it's
I've played Summer Pavilion, I have played Stained Glass, Azul Duel, regular Azul, and I think they're all fantastic. This is a modern classic for a reason. Yeah. It's just like it's so mean and it's so
can be for sure.
Yeah, we play kind of mean and it's like puzzly and it's beautiful and I love the acrylic tiles and I just really enjoy it. So that's my number 46, Azul.
Yeah. My number 45, I'm a little bit surprised that it's this far down, but again, I think it's just the product of the type of game it is and the type of game that I really enjoy. It was new to us last year and we've talked about it a ton on the channel. It's probably the lightest game so far on my list, and that is Dice Town.
Oh, no, we played that for the first time this year.
That's what I said.
Oh,
I keep saying last year because
it's currently 2025.
It's currently
I'm still in 2024. I'm living in the past.
So Dice Town is a dice chucker, dice roller, where you are just trying to roll the best poker hand, and I say poker lightly because it's not super pokery.
You don't need to know
but
poker.
There is a varying degrees of hands that you can roll with your dice, and then depending on who has the most nines, tens, jacks, queens, or kings, you're going to basically go through Dice Town, and activate each region to score a bonus, whether that's to get money, to get gold nuggets, to get bonus cards, to get property cards in order to score victory points. We've talked about Dice Town a ton, so feel free to go check out many of our other videos where we talk about this game. It is a blast to play. I've had a blast playing it every time it's hit the table. And again, I think it's just lower, because again, it's still top 50.
Too low.
It's at 45 just because of it's competing against heavier games that I enjoy.
Yeah, I don't have that issue when I rank things.
But Dice Town.
I will say, Dice Town is going to be one of the games that we are bringing to Level Up. So if you see us at Level Up, you want to play Dice Town, we're going to be playing some Dice Town.
I have a sneaking suspicion I'll be teaching that a lot.
Yes.
We need to get the expansion.
Yes. Yeah. And I just wanted to mention, speaking of Level Up, if you haven't signed up for it yet, there's still time. It's at the end of January, beginning of February. We are going to be there. A lot of people in our Discord are going. It's going to be a great time. So if you're unsure, there's been quite a few people in the Discord that have been like, I'm going alone. Is that okay? I would say of all of the conventions to go alone to, this is a perfect one to try, because I know our Discord members anyways will welcome you in.
Yeah, just a quick disclaimer. If you're going to Level Up or you're thinking about going and you don't have anyone to go with and
join
you're not in our Discord community, join the Discord community, if only to find other people that are going to Level Up, because there are a fair amount of our Discord members that end up going to that one, and they will play games with you.
What are we on? 40 what? 5?
You're doing 45. Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's my only other button shy on the list.
Numbsters.
It's Numbsters, of course. Numbsters is my favorite button shy game. And this is actually, I would categorize button shy as one of those types of games that is very hard to compete with a full, big board game. So
fantastic for what they are.
Oh, yeah. And Numbsters is the best of them. So Numbsters is a solo-only button shy game where it's basically playing off of the old joke, 7, 8, 9. Why is 8 scared? Wait, no, wait.
Why is 9 scared?
Why? No, because 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Why are I don't know what the joke is, but that's what it's playing off of. Anyways, smaller numbers are eating big numbers, and they have to have the number 8 in between them.
Why is 10 scared?
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, and you're just trying to get your stack down to just the 8. Just the 8 and one other card. And I'll play this game in my hand. It comes with me everywhere I go if I travel. And you could just play it on a plane, anywhere you are, play it in your hand, play it on a table. It's the perfect button shy game, and it's really bright and vibrant and fun and funky. I did recently get the Infinity expansion, so I haven't played with it yet, but I'm really excited. But I love Numbsters, and it should be on this list, and it maybe should be higher, but it's just not.
I think Numbsters is my second favorite button shy game.
Squabble and Goblins is your first?
No, Revolver Noir.
Oh, Revolver Noir, obviously.
My number 44 game of all time, I think, has probably dipped a significant amount just due to lack of playing. Tried to play it digitally, but the digital app is not great. But I was enjoying playing it with some friends, and that is a Game of Thrones. I feel like it was pretty high last year.
It was your 55. Sorry, your 16.
Yeah, okay. So I think what happened was we played it last year.
We played it on New Year's, yeah.
And so it was fresh in the mind. Game of Thrones will always be in my top 50. And it might be at 20. It might be at 40. It's just going to be, have I played it recently? Because it's one of the games that got us into the hobby.
It's the game.
We've talked about it a ton on the channel. Our love for this game is always going to be there. It's just going to be, have I played it enough for it to be fresh in the mind and on this list at a high point. So yeah, number 44, A Game of Thrones. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it.
Especially if you love the books.
If you like the books, you like the theme, and you have, it's not overly complicated. I think it's a pretty simplistic system, even though it's very big and robust on the table. So it might, people might bounce off it when they see it and be like, that's too much. It's very simplistic, but 44, Game of Thrones.
My number 44 is an Uwe game. Some may say
first.
The best Uwe game.
No.
The best Uwe game.
I know it's not.
Ever created, and that's New York Zoo.
No.
Now, New York Zoo last year for me was my number 26. So it has dropped a lot, but that's because we played so... I play it on BGA, though. I do be playing it on there, but we haven't played physically. Anyways, New York Zoo is a polyomino tile placement game where you're building out a zoo by collecting different animal tiles, and those animals are going to do Uwe breeding, which means 5 meerkats make 1.
It's very key part of the 70s thing.
Exactly. So anyways, I love this game. It's so cute. It's fun. It's quick. You could play it on BGA, which is where I primarily play it. I don't know if you could play it solo. If you can, I haven't tried. And if I figured out that I could, then I'd probably... Yeah, let's look it up. That's the thing about the internet. Information at the fingertips.
It does.
I'll have to try it solo. because that might even push it up even more. But yeah, it's just competing against other games. Like I said, I rank based on gut feel in the moment. So if I did this same ranking today, it'd probably be different.
My 43 favorite game of all time is Brian Boru from Osprey Games.
It was your 24 last year.
These make sense. So I've played a lot of Brian Boru at this point. And our most recent play wasn't a huge success. I think there's some people around the table that weren't super into it, which impacted it. Again, I rank off of experience. And our recent play of Brian Boru wasn't as great. I mean, again, it's still top 50. I love Brian Boru. But I think it is a game that has to have the right group that fully understands what's going on and knows how to play trick-taking games. Yeah. But I think knowing how to play trick-taking games is super important in Brian Boru because you have to throw off at times and other times you want to win. But it's a beautiful production. I love trick-taking and the theme just hits. Brian Boru is another one that's probably always going to be in my top 50 just depending on what the recent play was like, where the rank's going to fall.
That's fair. It's a great game. I freaking love it. All right, my number 43 has dropped this year. It's actually dropped every year over the past 3 years that it's been on the list, and that is Cascadia. We just don't play it as much anymore. And
it's got tough competition now,
It's got a lot of tough competition. I still think it's an amazing game, though. Obviously, like this game is well loved for a very good reason. So we did actually play like the roll and write version of it this year, and so we just haven't played like Cascadia.
I did enjoy the roll and write.
Yeah, same. Anyways, that's my number 43. It was my number 31 last year, and then my number it was my number 40 last year, and my number 30 the previous year. So it hasn't really fallen that much. But Cascadia, you are building out a habitat terrain and you're putting out animals and you're trying to score the animals based on the goal scoring cards that you have placed out for them, for the bears and the foxes and the eagles and all of that. I think it's a great game and I really love it.
Yeah, it is. My number 42 I know was much, much higher on the list last year, and that is London, another Osprey game.
It was your 21 last year.
London is a card engine builder, where you are basically building out London, and then you're going to trigger your city at certain points in order to activate each area in order to score victory points effectively. You're trying to build out your town, your city, but not build it out too grandiose, because then you're going to start taking is it plague? I can't remember.
No, poverty.
Yeah, you're going to start taking poverty tokens, which are negative. So basically, you need to build your engine efficiently enough that it's not such a sprawling city, but tight, but big enough that you're going to score enough points and not have to take poverty, or at least be able to overcome that poverty round over round. London is one, again, that will continue to be on this list. It's just going to depend on how much I've played it. We don't get to play this game nearly enough.
No, it's so good.
It is very, very good, and I think one that will continue to kind of bounce around depending on how much we've played it.
It also plays great at 2. That's another benefit of it.
Yep.
My number 42 has dropped a little bit this year as well. It was my number 35 last year, my 33 the previous year, and that is Paint the Roses. And you want to know why? Because nobody will play it with me. And it is on BGA, but I just find it really, really difficult to play this async. And I don't really play BGA games live.
Ben and Sarah will play with you if they move here.
When they move here, they will play with me. Paint the Roses, another deduction game, obviously, where it's obviously Alice in Wonderland theme, and you are trying not to get your head chopped off by the silly old queen. And basically what you're doing is you're going to have a card that tells you kind of what you need to have placed onto the board, and then you're going to be giving out clues using cubes. It is very, very difficult, but I love this game. I think it is so hard that it makes my brain happy. And when you do get it, which I think we've only won one time.
I don't even know if we did.
We won one time, I remember it well. When you do get it, it just feels really good. And I love it. And it's a beautiful game also.
It is. All right, last one up for me, my number 41. Well, last one up for me of this section, 50 to 41.
Imagine we just stopped. We just didn't do any more.
Trolled everyone. is Watergate, another one that I know was much higher on the list.
35 last year.
Okay, so not too bad. Watergate is a 1v1 tug-of-war game where one person is playing as the Nixon administration and one person is playing as the journalists that were trying to uncover and discover the Nixon scandal, effectively. And you're doing that through card play. All of your cards have like certain events that they can trigger or actions that you can utilize in order to play out investigative tokens in order to pull the track towards you or away from you. And that's basically it. It's like this grid movement thing of investigative things that you're putting out, and basically the journalists are trying to draw connections to Nixon.
Right.
And Nixon's trying to battle that by blocking off regions so they can't draw the connections. It's incredible. But again, it's just a game we haven't played as much of this year as we have in the past. I have a feeling like this is on BGA now.
It is. We've played it on BGA.
Yeah, and I feel like I didn't like it digitally.
It's another one I feel like you have to play live. I don't like it async.
Yeah, you forget what you're doing and stuff. Again, Watergate is going to continue to be on this list. It's an incredible two-player experience, and one I very, very much enjoy. I know people don't like the theme so much, but
doesn't matter to us. We're Canadian.
Doesn't bug me.
Don't know nothing about it. My number 41 is Parks. Parks has been all over my top list. Last year it was 19. The year before it was 44. The year before that it was 11. And so it'll just probably continue bouncing around, but I think it'll always land somewhere on my top 50 because I just love this game. We got to play the roll and write version of it this year. I believe here's probably one of the main reasons they took it off BGA. I don't know if it's back, but somebody told me it was coming back or it might be back or whatever. Why would they do such a thing? Because that's where I played it the most of all.
I think it's coming back. I think I saw it in alpha.
Yeah. And so anyways.
They're probably adding an expansion.
I just love Parks. You're like hiking along the trail and you're taking actions and you're trying to collect the resources in order to visit the parks, and I just love the theme, and this has been a game that we have kind of had in our collection since we really got like deep into the hobby, and it's just has a very like nostalgic feel for me, and I really love it. Yeah. But those are the first 40.
We're on our way.
Wait, the first
10.
That was the first 40. Did you catch them all? Anyways, we are going to be back again. Our next video is going to be our 40 to 31. Okay, and then actually, I don't know if it's going to be our next video that comes out, but the next one of the series is obviously we're going to go in numerical order. So we would love to know in the comments below, was there anything on there that you were like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see that on the list? Remember, not like, why did you put this on the list, you idiot? We don't want to hear about that. Anything else is welcome. But that is everything that we have for you today. Now, if you're interested in buying board games like any of the many that we mentioned today, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
And if you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later it is.
You're adorned with dog hair.
Yep.
Wish that I had hairspray or something because my flyaways are flying. 50?
They're 41, right?
Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it, Jeff. Let's get into it. Jeff, would you like to start?
That's the section that no one watches.
That's a section no one watches, but if you did, I give you a high five, thumbs up.
Yep. I can't remember the publisher's name.
Weird Weasel. Something Weasel Games. Wicked Weasel?
No.
Weird Weasel. The Weasel of Wesselton. The Wesseltons. Devious Weasel.
Why wasn't this on my 2024 list? Because you didn't include it because you didn't play it. Okay, let me go back. Let me redo it because I thought it was 2024.
Whoop.
All right.